Okay, so after my video on Tuesday night, we're going to reframe this. And I'm sorry I didn't realize that the question should have been framed a little differently. Probably shouldn't have titled it the way I did. So we're going to come at this with a different approach. But before we get into it, guys, Thunder game's on. Kind of watching that in the background. You can see, repping some Thunder gear here. So hopefully, by the time you guys are watching this video on Friday, the Thunder have made it into round 2 of the play-in tournament. But the Oklahoma Sooners lost out on Payton Pierce. And the question is, who are the next targets for the University of Oklahoma at the linebacker position? So, for those of you who watched the first video, listen, guys, I apologize. I just tried to create a video that was going to be interesting. I didn't realize it was going to get so much flack, but that's why we're here today. We're here to talk about it. We're here to talk about where the Sooners are going to go, because I don't feel like you guys got the right impression of where I was coming at with that video. And so we're going to kind of rephrase everything a little differently. But the Sooners lose out on Payton Pierce, the 4-star linebacker out of Lovejoy, Texas. And yes, I mean, the Oklahoma Sooners, realistically, they did. They lost out. This was a race where a lot of people thought the Sooners would win it. And, you know, they lost them to the Buckeyes, which now looking in perspective, you're hearing things about why Payton Pierce committed to the Ohio State Buckeyes. And I don't think really, I mean, yeah, it sucks. I don't think really we need to complain about it too much. We just need to move on, look forward, because as a lot of you guys mentioned yesterday, and they were very good points, the Sooners could still flip Payton Pierce from Ohio State to the University of Oklahoma, especially if the relationship is just that good. Now, is it likely? I have no idea. Maybe Payton Pierce is set. Maybe he's done. Maybe he doesn't want to go about this recruiting process anymore. Maybe he's just, wanting to move on from that and just wait till signing day. So if that's the case, who would be takes for the Oklahoma Sooners? And I think we could start at Drew Woodaz, one of the 3-star linebackers out of Jesuit High School in Tampa Bay, a kid that has a really great relationship with Brent Venables all the way back to his Clemson days. And I believe Drew's brother actually still plays for the Clemson Tigers. So right now, everybody believes this is an Oklahoma-Clemson battle. I still think Drew Woodaz ends up with the Clemson Tigers, but maybe now that the Sooners have missed on Payton Pierce, maybe they look at going a different direction and going all in on a guy like Drew Woodaz, who definitely has potential at 6'3", 190 to be a star linebacker, especially with what we've seen with Brent Venables being able to develop 3-star talent and turn it into NFL talent. Maybe Drew Woodaz would fit that mold perfectly. He has taken 2 visits to Clemson and 2 visits to Oklahoma. The most recent for Oklahoma, he's taken 3 visits to Oklahoma, because the most recent one was in January for that junior day. So we'll have to keep an eye on this one. I don't know where Drew Woodaz is in on this one. We've had him on for an interview, but we haven't been able to. I haven't followed up with him, so we don't know where he's at in that recruitment process. Also being looked at by a school like Iowa, Louisville, Wake Forest. So he's definitely got some teams on his list and in his recruitment. But another 3-star linebacker that definitely the Oklahoma Sooners could look at, and one that I think Sooner fans have also heard really good things about when it comes to the Sooners and the recruitment, is Michael Boganowski out of Junction City, Kansas. Sorry, guys, my allergies are acting up today, and I've got drainage and my sinuses, I'm draining, so forgive me if I sound a little nasally or at the sniffles. But Boganowski, the 6'2", 195-pound linebacker, this is a guy that, in 2022, he finished with 123 total tackles, 67 solos, 3 for a loss, 4 interceptions, 1 forced fumble, 1 passing touchdown, 2 rushing touchdowns. So when you look at what Michael Boganowski has, in terms of stats, he could be a top-tier linebacker. But playing for a smaller school in Kansas City, that's definitely never going to do you justice. So maybe Michael Boganowski is a guy that is a diamond in the rough, and maybe the Oklahoma Sooners could come in and land this commitment. I've heard some good things around this recruitment with Nebraska, so I would think really if you're the Sooners, you're going to be battling some local teams like Kansas State, Kansas, Missouri, and even a little bit closer, Nebraska as well. So another one that I think Sooner fans could potentially keep an eye on, one that could be exciting for you guys. But I did see a couple of you guys jump down in the comments yesterday and talk about Jordan Lockhart, the 4-star linebacker out of Bellflower, California, 6'3", 230 pounds. So listen, the kid's got some weight on him. He's got a total of 16 offers. He's got one from Alabama, and Texas A&M and Michigan. So definitely he's got talent, right? That's definitely where it's at. So Jordan Lockhart, he has recently been to Oklahoma on March 24th. Like I said, it wouldn't be a bad take, but I would imagine being from Bellflower, California, this is a guy that's likely going to end up at USC, where he's actually taken 6 visits. But the next team on that list for him has actually been Ole Miss with 5 unofficials, and Ole Miss is halfway across the country. So maybe those unofficials have a little bit more meaning than the ones that USC has. Again, one that we'll have to keep an eye on, one that you guys certainly were excited about to keep an eye on. But one that I think Sooner fans are potentially forgetting about is the 4-star linebacker Ty Anthony Smith from Jasper, Texas. For those of you who don't remember, he actually did come on campus for the Sooners for that junior day on the 28th in January. It's so far been his only visit. He's been to Baylor, Texas, Texas A&M for a total of 14 combined unofficial visits. If you throw TCU in there, makes 16. Of course, being from the state of Texas, you would imagine that those Texas schools will definitely have a higher number of unofficial visits. But been to Alabama twice, been to Texas Tech, LSU, USC, Nebraska. So I'm not 100% sure where Oklahoma sits on this one, because I actually have not got a chance to talk to Ty Anthony Smith. But one thing you've seen with Ty Anthony Smith is the kid is really athletic, and he definitely has the size to be able to go play this position at a Power 5 level. And, I think this is a guy that if you got him, it would be a pretty big win. It's not a Payton Pierce, but it would be a pretty big win. Now, he does have an official. No. Sammy Brown is the one that has the official. We're going to move on to him here in a second. So we'll have to keep an eye on him. 99 tackles, 13 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, 5 pass breakups, 2 forced fumbles, 1 interception. Now, I was getting a little ahead of myself, because we're going to talk about Sammy Brown, because this is the one that I think intrigues most Sooner fans, the 5-star linebacker out of Jefferson, Georgia, who currently has an official visit set up with the Oklahoma Sooners on June 23rd. So this is something for the Oklahoma Sooners to be excited about, because you've got one on Clemson on June 2nd, Georgia on June 9th, June 16th, he's going to be at the Ohio State. And so far, it looks like Oklahoma is going to be getting the last official visit so far for Sammy Brown. And it's one that I think Sooner fans would definitely feel good about, because that just means Brent Venables and his staff, they get to do what they're good at. They get to be the closers. And if you're the Oklahoma Sooners and you go out there and you land a 5-star linebacker in Sammy Brown, then yeah, we're all going to forget about Payton Pierce, because this is your depth right there. Sammy Brown, in 3 years as a starter, 206 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 6 sacks, 3 pass breakups, 1 interception, 1 fumble recovery. On the offensive side of the ball, 372 rushing attempts, 3,580 rushing yards, 32 rushing touchdowns, 12 receptions, 427 reception yards, and 3 receiving touchdowns. So Sammy Brown, just like we talked about with Ty Anthony Smith, definitely going to be he's going to be a take, and he's going to be an athletic kid who, again, can start at the Power 5 level for any team, and probably could play at the Power 5 level even at the running back position. Now, listen, he's a 5-star linebacker. He's not going to play a running back position, but that tells you about how athletic the kid is, and how big of a take this could be for anybody. So Guys, go ahead and jump down in the comments below and let me know what you guys think. After the Oklahoma Sooners miss out on Payton Pierce, who do you guys think would be the next take for the University of Oklahoma?